Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today is another play-along video. I'm going to be playing some City Skylines, which is a great little map where you are looking down at a city, and we're just going to try and get the highest score we can on no moving, so it should be really an interesting challenge. I think we'll go about 2 minutes per round, just so I can really think about how things are going to go in case I need that time. So go check out the description now, play before you watch the video, and then you can see how I did and how you did in comparison. So it should be interesting here. Here is the first seed. That's what we're looking down on, so somewhere in Taiwan, presumably. Although, that kind of looks like a Japanese pole marking. So I thought this was actually going to be Chinese. Turns out it's actually Japanese. So we're looking at a Japanese town down here. Feels very green, so I am thinking maybe more southern here. Just because it feels a little more tropical to me, but could certainly be wrong about that. So yeah, I don't actually know any Japanese, so this is not helpful at all to me, unfortunately. But we do have the ocean here and some kind of a bay to our south. So I'm just looking for anything that's kind of decent size that would fit here. Something like this could certainly work. Well, the bay seems a little bit bigger though, so even Kagoshima could work here, I could see that. Do we have land all the way to our south? It's definitely a port town, but you can't really see actually too much. The water is quite south, and over to our east there, we do see like kind of a bigger piece of land. So we could be over like that, I guess. Yeah, Kagoshima, it's kind of a risky one. Maybe something over here would probably make more sense, like Hiroshima could make more sense, really. Kind of conflicted here. Hiroshima's probably the safer bet. I might actually go for that. Because then I guess we'd see like this kind of bigger mountainous stuff over that side. It certainly could make sense here. I kind of like that. But yeah, certainly somewhere in Japan. Also, I want to say thank you for 6,000 subscribers. Very much appreciated. And it's gone super quickly at the moment. It's actually kind of mind-blowing. But anyway, let's go for Hiroshima here. And man, it was Kagoshima. That's kind of tragic, but what can you do? That's always going to happen sometimes. But 3.9k. At least I got the vibe that it was southern. Next one. I'm feeling Colombian off the bat here. We've got like a octagonal pole, so it could be Mexico too. Ooh, that looks more like a white number plate, but it's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? So yeah, I guess this should be Mexico then. You do get the octagonal pole sometimes in Colombia as well. So I guess, let's check the sun as well. Sun's kind of invisible behind those clouds, unfortunately. Okay, so here's what the town looks like. It's very sprawling, very big. I think it does look more Mexican, in all honesty. But the eucalyptus trees are interesting. You don't see too many of those in Mexico, I feel. So yeah, I guess so. I think it should be Mexico, maybe further south in a valley, something like this. Something like this could certainly make sense. Yeah, I even quite like that. Although it's a bigger town than this, that's for sure. Because look, this is like quite a significant population living here. It could be Mexico City. In all honesty, I don't think so. I don't think Mexico City would quite look like this. It's a very long city. That's the problem with this one. So a minute left. Okay, this one fits. Merida would be too flat. This one, though, may fit a little better. I am kind of worried that it is actually Colombia, you know, because I'm just trying to look at these buildings. They certainly don't really strike me one way or the other. As for the car, we've got the short antenna car. So, yeah. Yeah, really not too much to say on that front, unfortunately. And the shadows are not being cast in any particular direction. So let's look at this one, Chiapas. This is Tuxtla. This one's actually kind of the right shape. So I'm more amenable to this one. The hills are kind of the right shape as well. So, and then we're kind of looking to the north. So it'd be somewhere around here if we were there. Now, I don't really think we see the right kind of roads. We'd have to be like, yeah, we'd have to be on this one or something. None of it really makes sense, unfortunately. So I don't think we're in the right one. But if we are in Mexico, what about this one? This one kind of makes more sense, I think. I'm going to switch last moment just because I think it makes more sense. And it was actually in Quito. Okay, so it was a huge city. And it was the capital city of Ecuador. Now, the octagonal poles, I don't think I've ever seen those in Ecuador. So I wonder how many people that would trip up. To be fair, was not a fantastic guess, but yeah. Didn't really look that Mexican. Okay, so next one here, we got some Trekker. Interesting old rock here, and look down at the city here. So we've got like kind of bay to our northeast there, and then we've got like interesting rock formations. I mean rock kind of walls here. Very interesting Trekker shape here. This is what the Trekker shape looks like, but it's kind of got jagged edges, which is strange. But yeah, it's a huge town again. Once again, this should definitely be gettable. So where's the sun then? Sun is more to our south, so northern hemisphere. That's kind of what I expected, to be honest. But now I'm not too sure. Now I'm really not too sure. Maybe one thing that came into mind is like Bordeaux. I'm not really sure if Bordeaux has like this kind of hill in the background. Because we're not that elevated, to be fair. and we've got like a bay. So yeah, Bordeaux's certainly not it. But what about one like nearby? The bay is kind of like over to our north as well, so that would make it more southern there. So yeah, it's actually kind of unclear. I got to look at these buildings a little closer again, huh? Oh, I got like a football stadium there of some kind. Spain? Is Spain possible? Northern Spain? I don't know. I feel like it's very difficult actually. Romania? I'm just trying to think based on the like amount of like duplex buildings and stuff. I don't really know what I think here. It's definitely a big port. So I'm sure some people will recognize it based on that. So maybe in the Mediterranean would make sense here. Naples? Not a huge fan of Naples here because we got the port to the north, which is just very concerning. So Palma definitely doesn't look like that. I'm pretty sure. Could it be somewhere in Corsica? Would that really make sense? I don't really think of anything better. So I mean, that was Sardinia, but you know, Corsica or Sardinia. I can't really think of anything better. Yeah, definitely rolling landscape here. It's, I don't know. It was actually in Northern Ireland. That was Belfast. Okay, so I was thinking British Isles, but it felt a little too Mediterranean to me. I don't know. It was like the rock kind of structure that we had in front of us that made me think Mediterranean. But at the end of the day, like Ireland. Did I say British Isles? I meant Ireland. Makes more sense. Okay, so that was kind of rough, and this one's not so much of a cityscape, I guess. I guess we're probably meant to be on top of here, and we've glitched down there. I think that's probably what's happened. So we can probably go for a quick guess here. I think this is UAE. Interesting yellow, like bluish taxi cab plates here, but yeah, I'm assuming this is correct. In fact, I'm sure of it. So let's just go Dubai here. I'm pretty sure we're going to be near there, and ends up being Sharjah. But we get 20 kilometers away, which is a good result. And the next one, looking down on this town, so we don't have a particularly good score yet. I hope. I kind of wish we did well on that Japan one, so I could have redeemed myself more so. But regardless, here we're driving left, so I was kind of thinking off the bat that we might be in Taiwan, but I think we might be in Thailand instead, because of the left-hand drive and the double yellows. So, what are we looking down on there? Maybe Phuket could make sense. The thick, or this could be in Indonesia actually. I'm actually kind of confused here. Double yellows. These bollards would make sense for both countries, I think. This bollard, I've not come across this one here, and these like thick thick sign posts would remind me more of Thailand. And actually, these are Thai poles, so yeah, it is going to be Thailand. So we're kind of in the hills, and we're looking down over there to our east at the town. So let's get into Thailand here. So Phuket was my first thought. I don't actually think it's there, to be honest, but. Okay, we could be something like that, looking down on Phuket if we were up here, something like that. Okay, that's possible. But, and it is very green, so, and it is a big city, so yeah, Phuket could make sense here. I kind of like something like Chiang Mai or one of these ones up here better. Yeah. That would make more sense, I think, if we were on a road like up here or something like that. Chiang Mai Forest, yeah, certainly could be. Yeah. I think so. Because it is a big city. Let's take a look at back of the city. It is a vast city, and we do have hills on the other side as well. So, I mean, either city technically fits that description, because I think there are some hills over here, or at least somewhat. But I think Chiang Mai is the better shout. Otherwise, there's some other bigger ones over here. This one here is also decent sized, but kind of flat. So yeah, I think Chiang Mai, and then we're kind of going directly north to south on this part of the road. So something like that, or something like that. How much are we bending? Yeah, I mean, we don't really have time to figure it out, but that seems okay. And wow, the amount of times we've clicked away from the right location, but at least we were 400 meters away there, so that is a good result. We end up with 15,000, so yeah, you could say that was a relative success, just 2 bad guesses. The Ireland one I forgive myself for. The Mexican, or the Ecuadorian one I should have done a better job on, but... let's head in for another seed here. Should be a fun one. And that's actually my best ever score on the map, surprisingly. So let's get this second link going then. Alrighty. So guys, hopefully you guys did better on the second one than the first one. But who knows, maybe you nailed the first one anyway. This one does feel Mexican now. So we got short front plates and doesn't really feel too American. I mean, this is kind of an Americana car, but I feel like not too many people would drive cars like this. To be fair, could be US. Could be like a Tucson or I don't really know. One of those are like, I don't know if it's fitting. Yeah, so it could be like Albuquerque or Tucson or something like that. I can see that. So we have big hills to our east from where we are, so that would make sense for Tucson. And we also have hills over here, so I actually think Tucson is quite a good fit here. Although, I would expect that Tucson would have some more high-rise buildings, whereas here we don't have like the biggest. To be fair, we don't really have the biggest like thing. We have a massive highway running over here, and that would, I expect, kind of fit with that, which looks like the main interstate that runs through here. So that, and it bends off like that as well. I can see it like bending off in the similar direction. So I actually do kind of like it. Hills to the north also are satisfied by these ones here. So I think Tucson, I've basically picked it straight off the bat. I'm just surprised that it doesn't have more high-rise buildings. So I could be doing poorly here. So do we have like a train station running along here as well? Trains seem to run on the other side of the road, but I do see trains here. So seems like the wrong side though. So I would have expected the trains to be on this side. I mean, yeah, they don't seem to be. So that is rather concerning, I would say. Why are they not there? So maybe I do have the wrong one. I mean, I'm sure there are other ones that would fit here. So Phoenix also fits, but Phoenix is even bigger than Tucson. So maybe something like Albuquerque. So Albuquerque does also fit, I think. But don't like it as much. We don't have really the right shape. So it could be sand. I don't really know. But let's just leave it in Tucson and hope for the best here. 5.4 kilometers away. That's a W. That's a W. And we're actually way closer to the highway than I thought, surprisingly. So that's interesting, but we still get a good guess there. Very pleased. Next one looks like a bit of a gimme. This shouldn't be too hard. Ooh, interesting black Gen 4 car here. I've not come across this one. Where is this? Okay, well, sometimes the car meta can't help you too much, and that's a good thing. We've got double yellows here. Interesting bike path. So maybe, like, well, it's a big city here. Surely this is gettable. I think it's San Francisco, no? Over these two bridges like this. I'm not really sure which one's the Golden Gate Bridge. Maybe this one over here? I think so. I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong. But that is my thought at this stage. It's a very dry climate, to be fair. So I'm sure we can find this. So we're looking north here, and we have not too much going on. So let's get over here to San Fran, which is just here. So if we're looking north, so we would be around here. Or a little... So we see these two bridges. That's to our south. The one that runs across here, so... Yeah, we could be like here. And then there's the one... So then we'd have the big city front. No, we'd near the big city front. That's the problem. I guess this could be the city front here. This could be these suburbs over here. So we could be on an island, really. I think we kind of have to be like on an island like that. So then we... So I think we're like here. And then that, and then so we have the bridge there. And then over to the north, we see that bridge. Yeah, I think this is correct. And then, but we don't really have these hills. Or do we? Yeah, we do. I think that right there is that right there. So I think this is correct. And Alcatraz we should be able to see over here then. The Alcatraz, the famous prison. I don't see it though. Oh, there it is. That must be Alcatraz prison. I remember it has a watchtower on it, so this is correct. Yeah, guys. Okay, I love this map. It's just so fun for the like the enjoyment of just like getting a great guess, you know. So this road bends around, so we should be a little bit further down here. Yeah, okay, 61 kilometers away, we get the 5K. Beautiful stuff, guys. I'm actually so stoked about that guess. Okay, next one. Okay, so we are looking at a Gen 4 image here. I think this one's going to be Malaysia, but I'm actually not too sure. The road is definitely quite poor quality for Malaysia, you would think. Interesting. Is that an Indo flag? Could be. Very red soil here. So I think southern Malaysia makes most sense. We've got like Indo language with also some English as well. So Indo or Malaysian, I mean. So yeah, one of the two. And with the Gen 4, I'm just trying to think. The double whites are the exact reason that I was thinking that it shouldn't be Indonesia. But maybe you do occasionally see it. We got a mosque here, but that would fit either country, of course. We've still got a minute to go here, so we can really like take a moment. City of. It's all in reverse, so it's kind of hard to read here. Beerba or something. Ends in AR, anyway, so we can definitely use that to our advantage here. And yes, I was thinking, like, could we be crossing from It feels it's too rural. It's too rural. Just looking for any Malaysian flag. They like to fly it in Malaysia, and because it's Gen 4, it shouldn't be on Borneo. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, what is this? Something office? I think that's a Malaysian flag. Okay, so now we look for a town that ends in AR. So it could just be Kuala Lumpur here. We're on like a big river that's kind of running more or less kind of diagonally. And it's fairly developed. AR. Okay, Barang. This one, no, I mean, it ends with an AR, but it's not the right one. Oh, 10 seconds already, wow. That happened quickly. Let's just go there, I think. I see a big river running through there. Kind of feels relatively rural. Could it be that one? I'm not really sure. What? Wow. So double white lines in Makassar. That was a tough round. That was a tough round. So I wonder how many people have gotten that. I'm sure there was some good clue. If you're good at reading things backwards, I'm sure that was not too hard. But the double whites really confused me there. So I should have gotten that was Indo, but yeah. Okay, well there you go. Tough round for that one after a nice start. Next one is feeling probably Mexican. We've got the single yellow line. It's very dry, so maybe up further north this time. Big mountains. Okay, big mountains over to, well, basically on all sides, actually. We're in kind of like in a cradle here of some kind. And it's certainly Mexico. Sun to the south, so yeah, definitely Mexico here. So now we got to pick one. This one here? Okay, there could be, like, I wouldn't be surprised if I've zoomed on the right one here, because it's a big city, and we're surrounded by mountains, and it's dry. And this one just fits the bill perfectly, one would think. Tijuana is surrounded by mountains, but I don't like it as much because we don't really have too many mountains. Like, are we really looking over to the US? I don't really think so. I think Tijuana would be a bit greener as well. I could be wrong, but I think this one fits better off the bat. And then we're kind of up here in more of like this kind of area, maybe. Something like that. Could definitely see that. So Torreon. Yeah, I kind of like that. So yeah, here we have those typical Mexican octagonal poles. But yeah, is there too much more to say here? I don't know. I feel like I like it. The mountains maybe aren't big enough though. I'm actually looking over here. They actually certainly aren't big enough over to our east there. So last minute changes here. This one, yeah, they all have kind of like decent sized mountains. Maybe Tijuana actually does make more sense here because the mountains are certainly sizable in Tijuana. Okay, maybe it is. That was not what I was expecting. This one? Yeah, again, we don't see the ocean because we have these mountains blocking our view of the ocean, presumably. This one here? They all have mountains around them, but none of them are big enough. So I actually like Tijuana, surprisingly enough. Let's see. Oh man, it was this one. Saltillo. So there we go, and we were on this one, man. If I just looked over, I would have seen these big mountains, and that's exactly what we were looking for. Unfortunate there. Not to worry, though. Next one, right-hand drive, USA, probably, Canada. We got front plates. This one's definitely interesting. Thor. Okay, so, yeah, front plates. Ooh, definitely interesting. So, McKinley. Is McKinley in... It's somewhere in Canada. I feel like I've heard of a McKinley as a place in Canada. It's not in Vancouver, is it? Not a place called McKinley. I was probably thinking of Langley or something. It didn't really look too much like Vancouver to me, but just wanted to make sure. Okay, so McKinley doesn't seem to be there. Okay, so then what am I thinking? What am I thinking here? Yeah, to be fair, it didn't really remind me of BC. Okay, so McKinley. I swear I've heard of that place. Someone's pulling their hair out who lives in McKinley right now. Who's mad at me, but... Okay, what's that price of petrol? Because that would make more sense for Canada. So maybe... So do we have any hills or anything? I don't know. So, Hamilton... I feel like I've heard McKinley, but I just don't know. Okay, so we'll check near New York or something. I was thinking like New York, Philadelphia could make sense, like that kind of area. McKinley. Okay, well, also, like, the roads kind of remind me more of Texas, so I just want to make sure I've got all my bases covered here. But this is a big city, so... Who knows where this is, bro? Probably most people watching the video, to be honest. My US geography is not that good. So why do I have my marker now? I still have it in Toronto. Bryan Street. I'm going to switch it to Philadelphia. This could be a bad move, but because it doesn't show up there, this is kind of the area I expect it to be in. So I guess we'll just find out, won't we? But yeah, with a few seconds to go here, it does not look good. Well, yeah, I didn't find it. So let's see. It wasn't Dallas, so yeah. I knew it, yeah. So Dallas was what really, with those like concrete-ish roads, that really was jumping to my mind. So what is McKinley actually then? So is McKinley a part of the town, or is McKinley out of... So Fort Worth, I remember people talking about, yeah, Fort Worth and Dallas is pretty much one big metro area here, but McKinley I'm not sure about. So perhaps that is elsewhere and I'm blind, or perhaps it's just part of Dallas and that's why I'd heard of it, or something for Texas. But regardless, we get the right country, but no can do. So we had 2 really good US guesses, and then an average Mexican, average US guess. And then that one was really one I should have gotten, though. So, guys, let me see what the time is. I have time for one more. I'll go a bit quicker this time, but let's go for one more playing along link here. Hope you guys are enjoying. Give the video a like. If you made it this far, you should give the video a like, really, shouldn't you? But let's head into the next seed here and see how we go. Alrighty. So the next one, blue strip, so somewhere in Europe. I like this map a lot. It's good fun. Short antenna on the car, kind of a wooden pole, interestingly. So maybe I'm thinking Greece here. So, oh, what's that? Rappel. So maybe that's French. Is that French for something? Rappel. I feel like that might be French, but wooden poles you don't see too often in France, to be fair. This car here, I think, is a German car. This one is also. Very interesting indeed. But this is not a Spanish sign, so we can count out Spain, because Spain would not have a white border on the speed sign there. Okay. So then, France, I think. Do we have shutters on the windows or anything? It's not typical France, I will say that much. But with the bay to the south, it kind of looks like a decent-sized southern French town. Well, it's a city. It's definitely a city. Okay, so Montpellier, Marseille. I think maybe Marseille makes more sense here. How directly south is the ocean? Quite directly south. Actually, so the bay is quite directly south, so maybe Montpellier does make more sense here. Okay, I don't think either of them makes sense, actually, so let's take a look at some smaller ones here. Toulon makes sense, I think. Nice also makes sense, so maybe Nice is actually better here. Nice is definitely a big city. But yeah, the actual center of the city is quite small, so I actually think I like Nice quite a lot here. We were looking down at Old Nice if we were up here, you know? And that's pretty much directly south. So how does the... So it's kind of a flat coastline like we see here. So I like that. And then unfortunately we can't see over here. I think if we had X-ray vision through this house, I'm sure we could get a much better view. But, yeah, as it stands, I kind of like that. So do we see a pool nearby? I don't really know how it would show up on the map actually, but probably somewhere up like this. So there's definitely other places I haven't considered yet, but I think we're gonna be near there. And you're 500 meters away. I think I clicked away again, you know? Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's a great start. Great. Nice it was. Next one. Yellow plates, Netherlands, I assume. The height of the... Well, no, that's a hill. So it's not Netherlands. Okay. Well, yellow plates, though. Where will this be if it's not? So would we have like a big highway crossing like this if we were in Luxembourg with the yellow plates? Or is this just Britain? Oh, it's just Britain. Oh, Stadion, though. That's not... Okay, all yellow plates. What about front plates? Front plates also yellow. I forgot about that. So... Am I missing something here? Is this really just a Dutch hill right here? Or, no, they must have just built this to sustain the highway, maybe. Looking at the rest of the round, it's still, like, are these man-made hills? Cast Jeans Stadium. Oh man, am I missing something here? Okay, so let's see if we have one of these massive like crossings in Luxembourg first. So it could be something like that. Not really sure what I think. These blue signs are interesting as well, I must say. How many French cars do we see? I don't know. Yeah. So any bollards or anything? It's just... And look at these turning arrows. I'm not really... These are the chevrons. This one's all kinds of interesting. The language seems kind of Germanic. Can't really make out proper words, but... Okay, so... If it's not Luxembourg, then it's got to be somewhere in Amsterdam, surely. And... Do we see a stadion here? It should be over to our west. I don't know, man. This is definitely difficult. I did not really think this looked... Okay, the houses. What about the houses? Quickly. Do we see any red brick or something like that? It's a big city. I think it's too big. I think I have to switch Amsterdam here and believe that these are actually man-made things here. Let's go there. Oh, 41. It was The Hague. Wow. Wow. Okay, so they must be man-made hills, I assume. Well, interesting round indeed. Okay, next one. That was a W. I'll say that was a W. At least I didn't go in a terrible guess location. These plates, huh? Idaho plates, I think? I think they might be Idaho plates, you know? If not, they're somewhere out here. They could be Utah plates as well, I guess. Okay, so looking down at the city here, we are looking at the city is... So we got hills over to our east on this city. So where was I thinking? Boise. Boise could make sense here, with the hills to the east. Kind of, then it stretches out and it's flat. So yeah, Boise. Well, but we got a big mountain in the far distance, so maybe Boise doesn't make sense. Okay. Idaho Falls doesn't make sense. Not enough hills. Okay. So maybe it's not. Okay, then Salt Lake City. No. Salt Lake City is almost certainly not it because of these hills here. Oh, it could be. Well, we got hills that run all the way up, though. Okay, Salt Lake City at least makes more sense, I think. What are these Idaho plates, though? I mean, what are these Utah plates, though? I didn't think they were. I guess it could be Salt Lake City. So it's not actually a massive city, though. Again, I would have expected more in the way of like a big... Well, CBD is actually kind of small. The center of the city is actually quite small. Okay, so maybe it is actually going to be Salt Lake City then. The mountains do kind of curve around like that, so that would make sense. And then these big mountains in the background, I guess if we were in line with that, they would continue. Feels like they continue on for too long, but it's very misty, so it's actually kind of hard to tell. So that would be in line with us. But then we're looking north. I don't love it. I don't love it because I feel like the mountains should, if in this city, they continue on further up there. So I guess we just have to hope we're like down here, and that's what we're looking at, really. Okay, well, I guess we're kind of committed to that now. Okay, that makes more sense. And these are the mountains we're looking at. So 2 decent guesses about 40 kilometers away in a row there. So not too bad, not too bad. Next one. Gotta start to move quickly here. No antenna, interestingly. So I think this language kind of looks Portuguese. I don't know, actually. So this is kind of like a... It's very, very built up, but it's not quite a slum, that's for sure. Big highway, hills running through the town. It could just be like kind of more like a inland Brazilian town here for sure. Something Paz here, but it's definitely not La Paz. At least I don't think it is. The mountains are nowhere near big enough here. It's too green as well. Okay, so interesting. Look at these blue, what are they, like water tanks on the roof? Very interesting. We got clear satellite dishes, so I do like Brazil best here. Okay, that's good. So then we're just somewhere along the coast here. What about this one? I like that. We've got hills on all sides, but no mountains. These ones, well, these ones probably would qualify as like decent sized mountains actually, so. I'm just gonna pick one, because there's just too much in Brazil for this to be, you know? Wow, Circle City. It's not gonna be that. Just looking at the climate again, definitely feels more northern than southern. Circle City again drew me in, but I don't think it's there. What about this one? Yeah. Not really loving it. This one had the mountains that were too big. This one's too small of a town. A lot of these are just too small, actually. And the mountains are too big on that section anyway. Okay, there it was. So I probably could have found that with a lot of time, but as it stood, we didn't really have enough time. I did feel the northern vibe, but I just lost track of time as well. Anyway, this one, white car. This looks like a Peruvian pole with these 3 juts out, I think. And then we've got a bay to our east there, interestingly. But it's kind of like a lake-ish bay. So maybe we're here. Puno? Would make sense if we've got that bay directly to our east. And then it juts out. And then it's kind of like a... no, not quite. I think it's Titicaca. Because we see, like, stuff in the distance here. Maybe it is Puno. I don't know if this little, like, land bridge here would show up, though. Seems like it might not. Okay, what if we were here? I see, like, a massive, like, main road running through the town. Maybe like that. Which we're kind of in line with. And then it ends in hills, so it can't be. But that's to our south. So that road actually runs south. I'm actually a bit disorientated here. So it's the bay that's to the east. That road runs south, so maybe we were like... I don't know. I don't think Puno fits, but it was definitely my first thought. So maybe it's a different lake? Or what? Why did I assume Peru? Oh yeah, it's because of this pole here. Still Peruvian over here. That could at least fit. It's too small of a town. This is quite a big city. I'm going to leave it in Puno with 10 seconds to go just because I can't find anything else that fits. I'm very, very pessimistic about this guess, but who knows? Maybe I've just been completely disorientated. 700 meters away. Okay, so, we were looking at this. And, man, my perception of scale there was just totally off. But we get 22,600 with one poor Brazil, and then everything else on point, guys. So, good luck beating that 3rd seed there. Guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you guys in a one very soon. Thank you for all the support. Also, channel membership still open, so if you want to support me that way, go ahead and do so. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Till next time, goodbye.